ladies were so lovely to watch. I grew up in the South, but I've been out of the South for about 20 years. And so just listening to you feels like home.
Oh, that's so amazing.
So lovely. What made you apply for the race? Why did you want to go on this show?
So it was post like 2020 where it kind of like was kicking off. 2020 was kind of interesting with just navigating like care and loss. And honestly, I just dove right into the love of Amazing Race
Mhm.
and brought Jasmine on board.
Yeah, some kind of way I hadn't watched The Amazing Race before
Yeah.
Courtney and I started dating. So yeah, it was a lovely thing for us to enjoy together
Yeah.
and, definitely tying it to that time of, life for, for both of us, lost COVID. And Amazing Race just gave you something beautiful to look forward to. And that's just from watching it,
Yeah.
just seeing all these different places people were traveling to, seeing the challenges that they were overcoming with the detours and the roadblocks. And it was just such a fun, lighthearted, feeling show to watch. And naturally, it made us want to be a part of it.
And what type of tasks were you looking forward to? What did you think your strengths were going to be?
Driving.
Navigation for sure. Yeah, because you can see that in leg one, us
Yes.
like being able to get to the airport, like the top of the pack,
Yeah.
and getting on the first flight. We
Mm-hmm.
felt really great about that. But little did we know that we were going to be running into difficulties with securing taxis in
Like,
another
right.
country.
Yes.
So that was interesting. That was an
Yeah.
interesting twist.
It was a very interesting and unexpected twist, but definitely was looking forward to like putting our 6 shift driving
Yeah.
skills on display. And even doing like some of the I think like building tasks and things like
Yeah.
that because we enjoy doing crafts and just like
Yeah.
our normal,
And
day to
needle
day
in the
life.
haystack as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't, yeah, there was so much that we
Yeah,
didn't
didn't
get
get
it.
to experience.
Yeah.
So that, that was a part of like you know, our reflection process of like, man, those are
Yeah.
things we were looking forward to
Yeah.
experiencing.
So when you got off the train, you were about seventh place. And then when you get to the soccer roadblock, you're closer to 10th, I believe. Was that a navigation issue there?
So it wasn't a navigation issue because at that point we weren't driving ourselves. It was more so just little details like the magic paper that we had gotten at the temple. We
It
didn't
dried up.
write down we didn't write down the name of the temple right away. And
Yeah.
when we finally had the bus, available to help us, we realized, oh shoot, the paper's dry, the words aren't there. Like, and all of those are just, details that under pressure, sometimes you because you're moving so fast, you're trying to stay ahead. We started out in the middle of the pack and slowly like started to see that shift. And so, kind of moving a little quicker than you need to, but you, because of the pressure, feel like, you have to. So just some small details got away from us and, prolonged our arrival to the Kamari.
Yeah.
And then Courtney, oh my goodness, kicking this ball. How you the
It seems
strength
so
to
simple.
get through it. How did you get yourself through it?
Honestly, it was not focusing too much on everyone leaving
Mm-hmm.
because that can be really hard in the moment. And honestly, pausing. There was a moment I'm so glad they showed that where I just had to like kneel down and just give myself a moment to just keep going because it was never a matter of giving up. It was just like, how am I going to actually accomplish this? Because I wasn't a soccer player. I actually wasn't even into sports when I was a kid. I was a band geek, and that was my wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm.
But this allowed me to step out and try something different, and then also see that my partner is encouraging me. I'm encouraging myself, and I was so happy and relieved when I finally got the 5 kicks.
Yes, yes. Because we knew it was coming. Like,
Yeah.
so even with me pointing out that, Courtney, I was more athletic or sporty and Courtney was band, there was never a doubt in my mind that she was going to get it done because I know Courtney. Courtney is determined, Courtney is resilient. And even if she doesn't, hasn't experienced something before, she's going to figure out how to get it done. And she did. So again, not a matter of if, but when.
The struggle was real.
It's okay though. It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, I was stressed for you for sure. So then you get to origami. The upside is there's still teams here. Like you're definitely in the mix. But what was the trick here with this origami task?
So origami is so intricate.
Very.
And bless those kids. Oh my goodness. They were just
folding away.
Yeah, over and over and over again. And like you're having to catch what you need and then like go back and do it. And it was this one small thing for us that wouldn't allow our crane to stand. And oh my gosh, it was watching it, you're like, oh, here we go.
Watching it, and
you're really like reliving it all over again,
and seeing how close, we were right there, and so that like, yes, we knew before watching it yesterday, we already knew the outcome, obviously, but just seeing it, like, it was tough, but still finished watching it and feeling very proud.
Yes, absolutely. How much time was there between Bernie and Kerrigan leaving and you figuring out or getting it?
So really, we weren't looking at our watches, like, counting the time, but just, reflecting on what it felt like, maybe 15 to 30 minutes, but it wasn't a span of hours. It wasn't, we weren't that far apart.
Yeah.
Seeing that when they left, they were having issues with the taxi, and we don't really know how long that was, but it's like, oh man, there was still hope. So that just lets you know that's another reason to like always keep going and never give up, because you never know, like it could have been a moment where we finished and they still hadn't arrived. So you just have to like keep hoping.
And when you finally do get to the mat and you find out you are eliminated, what is that moment like?
We were taking it all in. I remember going up the stairs and I was like, wow, this is so beautiful.
It was so beautiful.
And for something in us, we were taking our times walking up and just really like looking around, taking it all in. And then even Phil was like, I think
Yeah. And we did. And I feel like in spite of that, like we were still so appreciative, even in that moment, knowing that, oh man, this was our last leg. We still felt very proud of ourselves. We were very thankful and grateful that we decided to take a chance and try the amazing race, because a lot of times we withhold things from ourselves out of fear of what it might look like, out of fear that it might not turn out how we want to, or that you don't want the world to see your mistakes or see that, you don't get it right on the first try. And I feel like just having this experience with the amazing race and being able to really learn those lessons or be reminded of those lessons firsthand is just like a way of reigniting like our desire and courage to just go after whatever it is that we want. So
beautifully said.
What is harder, being a nurse or racing this race?
Oh, the race.
We can do nursing in our sleep.
My God.
Okay. We have everything we need right in our comfortable little hospital setting or
and
patient
even if
room.
The situation is unknown, we
know
still
exactly
have
what to do.
The arsenal that we're familiar with around us. The race is fully unknown.
Very much so. But both are equally as rewarding.
Yeah, that's true.
They've both been very rewarding.
So I know you've watched the show. I imagine once you found out you were going to be on, you did some prep. But was there something that surprised you once you were actually racing?
Oh my gosh, how
much different it was.
Yeah. And then like how much I looked at our cast and I was like, you guys must be track stars. Honest to God, there were moments where we looked up and we're like, they are gone.
Yes, they were taken off.
So that was a surprise. Just, honestly, how fast things were moving. You don't see all those nuances when you're watching. But when you're in the moment, you really are you're living it fully.
And even watching it, you see, we've seen previous teams like have challenges, but what that actually feels like when you're actually in it, like they're really is no way of like knowing that until you're in it. So that was a big difference too as well.
Yeah.
Very big
Yeah.
surprise. Like, oh, this is hard. We knew it was going to be challenging, but it's like, wow, this is like real deal challenge.
Yeah. You do. Yeah. The feeling comes from the experience, honestly. You have to do it to be able to know what it truly feels like.
You do.
And what was it like for you two to have this experience together?
So
That's
rewarding.
amazing.
Yeah, so rewarding because with us being like at that point, like the youngest couple on the season and being in a new relationship, I think you're learning each other still. I think it takes people quite a while because I've known myself for 30 plus years. Jasmine has known herself for 30 plus years, but now we're getting to know each other. And that can be something that takes time knowing how to communicate with your person, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, how to support each other. And I honestly feel like we did that really well.
We did. I believe that we did, even in the space of still getting, you know, because you're always learning more about yourself.
That's true.
In addition to learning more, right? Like, because the people that we were on the race are not like, they're still within us, but we're so much more stronger than that, so much more confident, so much more grounded, and just so much more present. It definitely brought us closer. It has helped us tremendously in our communication and just, you know, being able to continue to see each other and support each other.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you talked about spending the rest of your lives together. We still feel good about that. We're moving forward.
Yeah, we do.
Absolutely.
We're still like, we have our bucket list, our goals. And, you know, honestly, after the race, you think about the things that you want to clear out and things like, because you want to get like recentered and refocused and really like finding those passion things and the joy that actually lights you up, because had we been able to go all the way, oh my God. Yeah, we're still figuring out how we want this life to look for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well said.
Well, that's so lovely to hear, and I really appreciate your time today.
Thank you so much.